Welcome to SaaSholes. We are revenue ops with an edge. With decades of making interesting decisions, Jamie, Jason, Marcus, and Pete are dedicated to helping aspiring sales leaders accelerate revenues with our no BS approach to sales leadership strategies and tactics. Our show is supported by viewers and listeners just like you on patreon.com/SaaSholes. Brent Keltner's Winalytics Revenue Acceleration Playbook Masterclass. In only 8 weeks, help your sales and go-to-market teams start to build the mindset and skills needed to succeed in the new buyer environment. Weeks 1 to 3, read the book and learn a new approach through 20 successful company stories. Week 4, all go-to-market team kickoff and receive self-reflection questions and mindset self-assessment. Weeks 5 to 7, collaborative sessions with prospecting, sales, and customer success on the shared journey to a new mindset. Week 8, all go-to-market team presentation and discussion. Winalytics, build the revenue organization you want. Request a free 60-minute growth consultation at winalytics.com. Ask for Brent and say Big Pete sent you. What's hot out there besides layoffs?
Well, I think we've reached a little moment with ChatGPT coming onto the scene and now more people becoming aware of it. I've been playing with it the last couple of months, and quite happily, I'm not going to tell my wife this, obviously, because she's going to take my subscription away. But I'd probably quite happily give up satellite and Sky TV and all of that. Because this is just like having my alter ego, the one that likes doing the admin and the research, on tap at will. And so the way you can nuance your research, and you can role play and you can scenario plan, it just opens up some really interesting possibilities. So I've teamed up with my neuroscientist pal, Moeed, who has been on, and we're launching ChatGPT for sellers. So anyone can use it. The problem is, can you use it well? So you've got to be able to apply imagination, intelligent questioning, and business acumen and put it in the context of the buyer. Now, salespeople armed with that, I reckon that's just breathtaking.
All the stuff that's on LinkedIn, all the posts now, it's all this ChatGPT stuff. Like, what?
Yeah. It
is. It's like, what am I looking at? It's like I don't know if there's two ways to look at it. It's sort of like, do you use a calculator to figure out what the answer is, or do you do it by hand? You know, all these people, they put in a phrase and they spit out 2 pages of text.
Yeah.
Is that really a post?
Well, again, it depends, because it depends on whether your audience derives the intended value, and as a result of that, it advances their understanding and moves your relationship forward, because that's the purpose of content. You know, do they engage? Do they invite you in? As I said right at the start, anyone can use it. It doesn't mean they'll use it well, which is why it's really important to think about your customer. What is my intended outcome? How can I ask intelligent questions and iterate those questions so I can start getting meaningful output? Because it's not always right. It's not 100%. So you need to build and build and build. But if you're patient and you're a bit geeky about it, like I am, you can build a real voice. You can build campaigns. You can build programs. You can build product. You can test and iterate ideas. You can role play scenarios. And I couldn't do that without having to spend a fortune on people.
I could see ChatGPT spitting out a couple pages of text so the keywords could get found by Google, but do you think this is going to bypass Google?
No, I don't think that's a good use of it. I think producing content is just a very, very tediously dull, unimaginative use of it.
Well, what
Um,
give me the top use for ChatGPT.
I think beginning to understand the human beings that you sell to, and thinking about how your behavior in the moment is likely to affect them, so you can rehearse it and preempt it, and then look at different ways of activating those behaviors and getting the outcome that you want without getting the friction, without getting the pushback. I think what it does is it allows you to be really well prepared, um, and really provocative in your questioning, but having thought through what are the consequences if I do this, if I say that, if I choreograph it at this moment in the sale. But most people are too transactional and won't have the patience, which is cool. I'm fine with that. Let them carry on. I'm looking forward to the next couple of months.
Well, I don't know
Yum,
if you want
yum,
to do a
yum.
screen share, but I'd be curious to see like how would a rep use this? You're saying to research a client. So instead of using Google, you'd use ChatGPT, or that's I
Yeah, do
go
you want to
back to
do one
Google.
live?
Yeah, here, let me hook you up.
No, set me
Here.
up so I can share,
Okay,
and
go ahead.
we can play. What have I done with it? There we go. Right, ChatGPT. So let's make that one.
Yeah, turn off the porn.
Okay. I'd gone long ago.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Where are we? Share. Share screen. Come on, any day now. Right. Okay. ChatGPT. Right. Okay. So let's just do one live.
Okay.
So give me a scenario. Who do you typically sell into, Pete?
Am I a BDR or an AE?
You.
Okay, so I'm going to look for a C level. Uh, let's what's the product? What's the product? I want to get a hold of Jamie Carney over at People AI, and I want to know a little bit more about People AI. How and I want to sell to them. Do I say what is People AI? What do they do? Who do I talk to there? Like, what's the
Now, it may not have anything up for the last 2 years because that's the data set cuts off before then.
Okay, yeah,
However, doesn't mean we can't find what we want. Okay,
yeah,
so I'm just putting that in there as a
yeah,
positioning
right,
statement.
right, right.
So I've got something I can go back to
Sure,
later
sure,
when I'm
sure, sure.
doing my index. Okay,
How
so
about
what
just
is it you
People
want to?
AI? What is People AI?
Okay, so what is people.ai?
Yeah. Okay. So instead of me going to Google and having this is going to save me 2 or 3 clicks, right?
Okay, yes, and let's see about the saving of further clicks.
Okay.
Okay, so
All
what
right.
do you want to know about people AI and the
All
people
right.
within it, structure, its competitive landscape?
What what is the executive management team of People AI? I wonder if they can. It'll be 2 years ago. I get it. Okay. What have they said about their expectations for the business? I'm trying to help out the people that are just listening in their cars.
Okay, the prospects for the business in 2022. Compare that with any available data. Uh,
Like, who are their competitors?
on competition, uh, positioning, pricing, and disruption. Okay, so the question, it's not a great question, but starting to build. What have those executives said about their expectations for the prospects for the business in 22 and 23? I want to go back to what they were saying back then to get a sense, because now I can then use Google or I can use Bing.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So it tells me it doesn't have access to up-to-date. However, in the sales analytics and automation space, People AI faces competition from a range of companies: Salesforce, Gong, Clary, Insight Squared, and others. Companies offer similar tools and technologies. Okay, differentiate itself from the competition, has positioned itself as a provider of AI-powered insight that helps sales teams identify the most effective sales strategies, optimize their workflows, yada, yada, yada. In terms of pricing, offers subscription. So I can do my research very quickly, but now it starts to get really interesting. So compare how People AI is perceived by its customers with one, Salesforce, two, Gone, three, Clary. What are the gaps in each of their offerings that customers say they are dissatisfied or only mildly satisfied, and as a result may leave unidentified demand or unsatisfied needs People AI could fill. Okay. So there's always a disclaimer complaining that it's a language model and it doesn't have up-to-date stuff. But then it describes Salesforce's proposition. And it raises concerns from customers from Salesforce about the complexity of the platform, high cost of customization and integration, and the need for extensive training and support. With Gong, customers reported challenges integrating Gong with other sales tools, as well as limitations on the platform's reporting and customization. With Clary, again, expressed concerns about cost, customization, lack of visibility. So based on these characteristics, is it possible that People AI might be able to tap into those gaps? I mean, how long did that take? 4 minutes?
Pretty quick. So I guess what I'm wondering is, I know they have an API function. Do you think all the RevOps or the operations people will just have these queries already done and just populate the CRMs?
Maybe. No? Again, it depends. It depends. Remember, Pete, if all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And if you come from RevOps, what are you going to look at? You're going to look at the revenue operations. You're going to look at data, and you're going to look at technology. What do RevOps people not pay any fucking attention to? Human beings. You don't sell to companies, you sell to the brain of human beings.
I guess what I'm saying is, do I want to pay somebody to type this in, or do I want it to be already there automatically?
Well, eventually, it should all be there. I think all of this is going to end up in lovely little, I don't know, whatever.
HubSpot.
Say again?
HubSpot. Salesforce is hurting. So we'll just say HubSpot. Okay.
But I mean, that describes, what was just there on the screen, to my mind, is a really perfect opportunity for someone like HubSpot. And a perfect opportunity, by the looks of it, for People AI. Why don't the two of them look at teaming up? Okay, so create a joint go-to-market offering between HubSpot and People.ai to compete with Clary, Gong, and Salesforce. So it comes back with HubSpot and People AI could offer a seamless integration between their platforms, allowing sales teams to easily connect their data workflows across the two systems. This could include automatic data syncing between HubSpot and People AI, as well as unified dashboard viewing for sales insights and analytics. How wouldn't that give most management a hard on? Okay,
Yeah.
AI-powered insights, leveraging People AI's AI technology, joint offering, blah, 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 blah. I mean, the beauty of this stuff is if I know how to use my experience and my business acumen and my understanding of the moving parts, I can then direct it to give me good indicators as to where to look. It's not going to do the work for me yet, but it's a bloody good start.
So you've been working on it a couple months. What are the top couple uses, do you think, for ChatGPT?
Well, the first thing I've been using it. I'm guilty of confusing everyone because I have a very wide repertoire and no one knows what the hell I do. Yeah, fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. So now I've narrowed just down on coaching. And I've focused on the aspects of coaching where I've identified unmet need and unidentified demand. And I'm focusing on a particular type of ICP. And I've been able to narrow that down, narrow that down, narrow that down. And when I launched it on Friday of last week, I was at a conference and I just thought, let's kick it off. And I've got 5 clients since then, 2 paying $1,500 a month and 3 paying $350. Now, I've structured my content through using this as a way of generating stuff because I'm an awful administrator. I'm terrible at organizing. I mean, think of the number of episodes I've missed because I can't even keep fucking track of time.
No, your time is being spent on more profitable things than this.
But sometimes I'm just distracted because I'm down a really interesting rabbit hole and I haven't got a bloody clue what time it is.
You know what's
But this means I can get so much done. I wrote the framework for a book and then I refined it and then I created a series of questions with a structure that I know works because I've been using it for years, but now I can inform it and I can get insight, that stuff that I probably would miss because I'm not an in-depth expert. But now I can tap into a brain trust. I can overlay Mark Goulston, who's my listening coach. I can overlay Daryl Stickle or Mark Goulston or Charlie Green on trust, and I can have them vetting my copy.
You know what I saw that's pretty interesting is when I first used it, I said, pull up your shared screen again there, Marcus. Let's try this. Let's ask ChatGPT to create a 3-minute YouTube video script on how to sell People.ai.
So, opening shot of a bustling sales office with reps on the phone typing computers, voiceover. In today's fast-paced sales environment, data is everything. Sales teams need accurate insights and analytics to identify the best opportunities, optimize their workflows, and close deals faster. That's where People AI comes in. Cut to the shot of People AI platform on a computer screen. Pete, over to you.
VoiceOver People.ai is an AI-powered sales analytics and automation platform that helps sales teams improve their performance and increase revenue. With People.ai, sales teams get real-time insights into their sales activities, pipeline health, and deal progress so they can make data-driven decisions and take action quickly. Cut to a shot of a sales rep using People.ai on a phone call.
VoiceOver. One of the key features of People AI is its AI-powered insights. With People AI, sales reps can see exactly where their deals stand and get recommendations on how to move them forward. They can see which activities are most effective at each stage of the sales process and get guidance on how to optimize their workflows for maximum efficiency. Cut to a shot of sales manager reviewing the dashboard of People AI analytics. Pete?
VoiceOver for sales managers, People.ai provides a comprehensive view of their team sales performance, including metrics on activity levels, deal progress, and revenue forecasts. This allows managers to identify trends and best practices, coach their team, blah, blah, blah. See what I'm saying? So you can do this and do a side-by-side video with an overlay of displays. Refine with solutions. Yes. Does this put marketing people out of a job?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, the good ones know.
Yeah.
But it's going to put it. The reality is, I think this is the moment where transactional selling starts to disappear.
Yeah.
Transactional selling becomes order taking, and then that is done through robotics because there is no human being needed. One of the theses that we're posting at the moment, when they did the research, when CEB did the research for Challenger, they found that the buyer was typically 57% of the way through the decision-making cycle by the time they invited in a salesperson. Moeed and I have a position on this, which is that since COVID, since the digitization, since working from home, and with this evolution of AI, the seller is going to become more and more distant and pushed further and further back, if at all involved. The big question, which is really interesting, which no one's really bothered to ask yet in my circles, is how a buyer is going to be using ChatGPT, for example, to reverse engineer the cost of manufacturing and your cost of raw materials and cost of distribution and comparative analysis of service.
Well, here, let's answer the question. Answer the question. Should I use Salesforce or HubSpot?
Okay. So I like to, when I'm building my content.
Oh, okay. You're narrowing it down.
Well, what I'm doing is I'm refining it because each layer, I want to put layer after layer.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, again, you can go Machiavellian and you can start using social engineering, and you can use persuasion techniques, dark social stuff. Okay. Or you can go the other way. And so it's a tool. The problem is that most people don't bother to do the hard work first. Now, one of the most useful things is and continue or more, because sometimes it runs out and sometimes it stops and you think there's probably a bit more. And the other thing I like to do is list 50 examples. So anyway, wrong query.
Well, here. How about a 6-week drip campaign for People.ai? I mean, it'll
6-week drip campaign, multi-channel for People.ai into Give me a sector, give me an industry, give me a company.
Professional services.
Into Silver Circle, London, professional services firms. Because you can localize all this shit as well.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like week 1 email, here you go.
So week 1, email introduction, follow-up email, LinkedIn in week 2, plus an in-mail webinar, week 3, week 4, direct mail. So invite, follow-up, direct mail, personalized mailer, follow-up, video series, social media promotion, phone, outbound. Okay.
So sales enablement, you'll probably have whoever the boss is, but everybody else will be gone.
Build a parallel go-to-market motion using ecosystems, strategic alliances, and partnerships. So identify potential partners, evaluate opportunities, build ecosystem relationships, develop joint solutions. Again, yeah, it's giving you a framework. You need to dig deeper. What I'm looking for all the time are points of interest.
So we've touched on sales enablement. Let's talk about differentiation. Let's ask it, Salesforce and HubSpot. I am cost focused, efficiency minded. Which platform should I purchase? HubSpot is a more affordable and streamlined platform. So when you drill down, I wonder if you can determine your business needs and priorities, so it can help you out there. But I think once you tap into
Okay, so what are the common pitfalls and complaints people have after first use and in ongoing use with Salesforce and HubSpot? Okay, so we can look for the pitfalls. What questions should I ask the rep from each company that will highlight potential problems for my users downstream of purchase? So if you want to ask the right questions, again, it's directional. Don't take it as read, but it's just so, I mean, the power to inform yourself. And if you use 2 or 3 of these models, I mean, Jasper, Google's coming out with one fairly soon. It won't be the last. So you use 2 or 3 of these models and you're running them in parallel, especially when you're doing deep dives. Now, the other thing I really like to do is this, because it doesn't talk about, the data set isn't recent. This is one of the things I to do. So let's pretend you are a CFO in a mid-market Series B scale up at the end of your funding runway, and you have about 8 months left to running out of cash. You have to raise funding, raise Series C, or sell this shit out. People.ai and HubSpot are both pitching you. What can you do to combine their value to maximize the downstream impact on your sales results and minimize cost or the need for people? Right, let's see what it spits out with that, because that's quite complex.
Yeah. And for everybody that's listening, we'll have this all on YouTube. All we're trying to do is to show you the power of this free tool to, if you choose to improve your game, this is pretty serious stuff.
I do pay $20 because I don't want to be throttled. The moment they throttle me, I just handed over my credit card because it was just too much fun. I'm up at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. So this is basically hobby time for me. So there was no way I was going to waste that. But I mean, just think about the power of this. You've got 5 different options, but wait for it. So evaluate the potential for integration, leverage AI-powered lead scoring, focus on data-driven decision-making, embrace automation, and explore partnership opportunities. Okay, so now I'm going to go a little bit deeper. Give me the reasoning and the payoffs for which roles by delivering against one. Evaluate potential for integration. 2, etc. Continue this pattern. Let's see if it does that. You don't even have to ask the question.
Right.
How cool is that?
Here, let's we'll end it with this one, Marcus, unless you got more. How will ChatGPT disrupt a sales force?
Oh, this one.
What are the best ways to use ChatGPT for a sales team or a sales manager?
Okay, so the first question is, how can I use ChatGPT as a sales manager to raise the performance of my salespeople? 1, individually, 2, collectively, and 3, in
Profitability.
terms of their willingness to cooperate with other departments and 4, to partner with partners and play nicely. There you go. So provide customized coaching and training, personalized to the individual strengths and weaknesses. Now, one of the things I like to do is bring in someone's psychometric profile.
Yeah.
If you believe in that sort of thing, and use that as a way of analyzing. So doing a buyer analysis, if you haven't got a tool called Crystal Knows, it's a very low cost. It's a widget that sits on Chrome on LinkedIn and allows you to analyze your buyer. Now you pull that data out and you pop it into ChatGPT and you do a comparative analysis in terms of how do I need to change my communication style so as to adjust to bond more closely with this individual. I mean, how cool is that?
I mean, this is where we were thinking about using chatbots like 5 years ago. This is where it's come. So the next question is, how do you train it to I guess the way you train it is by narrowing down the questions. I mean, that's going to be the next thing.
Well,
so
you can only train it within the individual chat. Or what we're doing is training Microsoft and OpenAI's system. Have a conversation with it and ask it about sentience, ask it about what you can do to make it better. Because it's remarkably helpful in informing you how to ask better questions. Have it coach you. I mean, seriously, have it coach
role
you
play,
get better answers. Well, yeah, exactly. But you start by getting it to coach you to get better answers out of ChatGPT. Then have it coach you to get better answers for your role plays, and then have it nuance it. Think about that. What if you could employ the rhetoric of Socrates or Marcus Aurelius in your comms?
Or if you don't have the job, have the interview questions to ask at the company you're interviewing with, right?
Well, stalking your prospect used to be a heavy effort industry. Now, with this stuff, you can just cut and paste a bunch of stuff in a Google Doc. You just put it into ChatGPT in chunks big enough for it to consume, and you label each layer. So you call this section 1, section 2, section 3, or S1, 2, 3, 4, and say, combine S2, S4, and S7 through the lens of a CFO. Yeah. Now I can start building value props in the blink of an eye. But again, you got to get, I haven't got the taxonomy thing yet. So someone who can help me with that, maybe ChatGPT can, who knows, probably can. But again, I don't know what questions to ask yet. So any good librarians out there, help me out. People good at archiving. So I need your help.
So just off the top of your head, I know we're still playing around with this. What do you think? What do you guess will be the biggest disruptors of ChatGPT? How is
buyers using this to make irrelevant salespeople even more irrelevant? So
who's
there's
using
just this explosion of emails and shitty adverts that no one's going to pay any attention to.
LinkedIn posts.
In 2018, it was 1.2 quadrillion emails and 3.4 quadrillion, that's 16 zeros, 3.4 quadrillion digital ads got 1 or 0 clicks. That will have exploded throughout COVID, and it will have just got a hell of a lot worse because of this shit. Because this exercised at scale is idiocy at a level that no one has ever dreamt of before. The carbon footprint of this stuff, driving shitty advertising, bad email, is going to be breathtaking.
Well, there's no advertising on this, right? That's where I'm kind of wondering if Google's a little scared. They got your $20, but I paid $20.
Yeah, but what they're doing is they're on. If you want search, you put that on Bing. It's going into Office 365.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now Google will put it into all of their G Suite. But the reality is, this technology Justin Michael said it in his book, Tech Powered Sales. Yeah, it's not that you're going to be beaten and replaced by robots and AI. You're going to be beaten by someone like me who's using it,
complemented
and
by using ChatGPT,
having a really, really good time doing so. I mean, it's free, it's frictionless, and it's fun. What is not to love about this, apart from the massive time suck?
Well, you had the libraries in the beginning. Then you had Google. Then the people are too lazy to use Google. Now you have this. At the end of the day, you're just going to have people that are lazy and people that are not lazy that want it and don't want it. And it's just going to be another level of sophistication that people may choose or not choose to use.
Yeah, it's a tool. Everyone will blather on in the same way that they did when the telegram arrived and the telegraph and the railway, the iron horse. And it was believed that if you went over 30 miles an hour, you would explode. And then they hit 30 miles an hour and they didn't explode. And it was believed that you couldn't do whatever the 9-second 100 meters. And Usain Bolt cracked that. And then suddenly a bunch of other people did after Roger Bannister did the 4-minute mile. What we're doing is breaking barriers by recognizing the medium changes, the channel does not. The channel is the human brain. 100% of decisions and 100% of selling is selling to the human brain. The human brain makes the buying decision. The company does not. Now, what I think this does is it unlocks for people who choose to tap into it quickly an opportunity to steal the lunch of everybody around you who are too slow and too slow-witted to take advantage.
Right.
If you take your time, it will probably be uncomfortably late because your best customers will already be being predated and you won't know it. And they'll leave you because someone like me will come along and they will put a hypothesis to your best, most profitable, most loyal customers in a way that you haven't even thought of and find your Achilles heel. That is the advantage. Come along on the 1st of April. Moeed and I are doing a kickoff then. It's going to be a right old giggle. You're not going to enjoy all of it. No.
Give the viewers and listeners a little clue on how do they find out more about that, Marcus?
It's going to be on LinkedIn Live and it'll be in the blurb because we're just in the throes of marketing this. I wasn't expecting to do this. And Moeed's putting it on Asana. And
okay. All right. So keep on the lookout for it.
Yeah, Marcus Cauchi, and it'll be all over social media.
Marcus Cauchi, thank you for this fine episode of the SaaSholes ChatGPT. Our show is supported by viewers and listeners just like you on patreon.com/SaaSholes. Brent Keltner's Winalytics Revenue Acceleration Playbook Masterclass. In only 8 weeks, help your sales and go-to-market teams start to build the mindset and skills needed to succeed in a new buyer environment. Weeks 1 to 3, read the book and learn a new approach through 20 successful company stories. Week 4, all go-to-market team kick off and receive self-reflection questions and mindset self-assessment. Weeks 5 to 7, collaborative sessions with prospecting, sales, and customer success on the shared journey to a new mindset. Week 8, all go-to-market team presentation and discussion. Winalytics, build the revenue organization you want. Request a free 60-minute growth consultation at winalytics.com. Ask for Brent and say Big Pete sent you.